Rocco, what did you think of Bailey after the first pitch, obviously, and what made you turn to the pen?
What was the last question? Last part of it? I didn't hear you.
Going to Kenta after 3.
Yeah. Well, we had an idea. I talked to our guys about Bailey going out there and getting us through a certain portion of the game, and then Kenta also giving us a good portion of the game too. So it was going to be kind of a group effort from our pitching staff. Bailey went out there and obviously fired a strike, probably a high strike on the first pitch, and obviously it gets hit, and that's Altuve. That's what he's capable of. He can do things like that. Bailey's stuff I thought was actually pretty good. It was actually, I think, up a little bit today, knowing that he was going to go in a little bit of a shorter role for us, and we were going to play it by ear, by watching the game to see just when and where we got our other guys involved. And then, of course, a big swing by Jordan, and then we go to Kenta. They had good at bats against us early in the game, against the first 2 guys that we put out there, and they kind of grinded us a little bit. But then we did a good job of staying in the game. It's not always going to be perfect. You're going to give up runs at times, and you're going to go down at times. But our guys kept us in the ball game, and our offense came back and made some things happen. We had some big swings. We were right in there. I mean, I know you didn't ask me about all this, but I'm going to keep talking. Verlander goes out there, and we had, I think, pretty good at bats against him. That's what I would call it. And we had a lot of traffic out there, and where one good swing or even one well placed swing away from getting some real action going, putting some runs in the board. We just didn't get that. The double plays today, they happen in our game, and we know that. But they were a big reason why the innings that we had going, we didn't get exactly where we needed to be, and we're going to have to deal with that. But we stayed in the game, and we still had an opportunity to win the game all the way to the end of the game.
Go to Aaron back there.
You talked coming into the series about lefties versus Alvarez, righties versus. Is this just an example of there is no good matchup against a hitter that good?
Well, I would say that he's a good hitter against everyone. I mean, he's it's funny, you don't normally talk about good players like this, but he's probably really good against righties on average, and also very good against lefties. I mean, you'd still probably rather take your chances bringing your good lefties in there and giving your guys an opportunity to go get him out. He just hit an off-speed pitch, stayed through it, and found the barrel. And he's strong. He doesn't have to get all of it to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But he obviously had a good day today. But you have to also go at these guys, and pitching. Not even around them, but just trying to be very fine with everything you do to all these guys isn't going to get you where you need to be. You have to attack them and throw strikes, and they're going to swing. They don't strike out much as a group, so you're going to have to attack in the zone.
Go in the back middle.
You mentioned attacking them. Could this impact your decision-making later when potentially a lefty against Jordan moving forward in this series?
Well, I mean, I don't judge things based on watching one at bat or one swing. My guess is Caleb will be in there to face those guys again at some point this series, if not more than once this series. So I think that kind of answers the question. We have some damn good relievers that we can go to in a lot of spots, and we're going to give them those chances to go out there and get outs.
Go here on the left.
Is there anything you liked about the game plan coming out against Verlander, and then anything you think sort of changed in the middle innings when he got in a groove?
Yeah, it's a good question. He definitely found himself and found the mix that he's looking for. He's a guy that if he has something that he doesn't like, he'll go away from it and he'll go to what feels good on that day. I think at some points he was going to the fastball up in certain spots where maybe he thought we were looking more off speed, but I was pleased. I'm sitting there, through a few innings, and I'm going, man, I mean, how many more base runners could you want out there to go do something? So I liked the way we went into the game. I liked our hitters' execution of the game plan and swinging at the right pitches and things like that. So I did like that. One thing we did do also, we made him throw a lot of pitches. He can pitch, towards the end of the game if his pitch counts right. But we were able to get to their bullpen, and they have a good bullpen. But we were able to get into that bullpen and make some things happen. So, with the amount of action that we had on the bases, we probably didn't get the runs that you would normally think you would get in those situations.
On the right here.
Hey, Rocco, how important is have someone like Pablo Lopez for tomorrow and maybe match the series?
Yeah, handing Pablo the ball is something that every time you hand him the ball, you feel very confident. The guys around him feel confident. He gives you a great chance to win a ball game every time. He's ultra competitive, and it rubs off on everyone. And I could say a lot of the same things about Sonny Gray, and those two guys are going to come up and pitch for us next. And when you give them the ball, you think they're going to pitch you to a win every time, regardless of who you're facing. So that's the kind of feeling that you do want. That's who he is.
All right. Phil on the left.
Rocco, I hate to use the S word around you again, but the Twins have a rather lengthy streak of not scoring many runs in the postseason, 18 games with 4 or fewer games now. I assume, especially tonight with the 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position, is it safe to say you think it's a fluke, and that, what would you say about such a streak?
I wouldn't, because our players that are in the clubhouse over there are an excellent group of players and a really good offense, and one of the best offenses in the game in the second half this year. So most of that has nothing to do with them. So I don't really have much to say about it. And there's a remedy for it, and you get some base runners on base, and you whack a 3-run homer, and then hit another double, and it's over. So that's how fast it happens. Just like the last series we played was something that our team hasn't done in a while, and then all of a sudden it happens. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
It is still just 9 runs in 3 games this postseason. Do you feel any frustration growing over? You had so many breakout games the last couple of months that it hasn't happened yet.
No, I'm not really thinking about it like that. I think postseason baseball, in postseason baseball, you're going to have to win a lot of low-scoring games. We're throwing out there and facing some of the best pitchers in the game on a game-by-game basis, on a daily basis. So you're going to probably think you're going to have to win low-scoring affairs in order to do it. There's a lot of different ways to win those games. You might have to manufacture a little bit. You might just whack a few over the fence and all that. But no, you're going to have to fight and claw and have a good approach and battle it for 9 innings to score runs off of all the guys pitching right now, including our guys that are pitching.
Thanks, Rocco.